Let's move into our third topic of the day. The Chicago Bears have another rumored quarterback on the carousel. We're looking at Nick Foles this time around. It's a name that invokes a little bit of feelings on my end because I've always kind of liked Nick Foles from a distance. I felt like he,
From a distance.
he's never been on a team in Chicago, so it's always from a distance. And I feel like he's one of those guys who reminds me of like a Jeff Garcia. In the clutch time, he can come in for a team and play really well, but he's not the guy you want to have there long term. He's not your franchise quarterback. But the Bears are in a situation where our window is closing because our defense is kind of at its proverbial peak already. And we need to compete now. And Mitch Trubisky is not the guy who's able to compete now. He's just not there yet. So when we talk Nick Foles to Chicago, I kind of I see what people are trying to put together. Ricky, you're the one who brought this to my attention, so I want to let you give a little shout out to the writer of this article.
Yeah, so this is the Athletics, Shahil Kapadia. He or she did a bold predictions for the 2020 offseason. And one of them where they predict that the Bears will trade for Nick Foles, who has experience in an offense like Matt Nagy's. Foles has worked with all three of the men working with the Chicago quarterbacks this year. Nagy in Kansas City in 2016. New offensive coordinator Bill Lazor, or Laser, in Philadelphia in 2013. And new quarterback coach John DeFilippo in Philadelphia in 2017. And Jacksonville in 2019. So this is basically the Bears need a quarterback. Jacksonville may be looking to give up Nick Foles now because that they got
Gardner Minshew.
The mustache, Gardner Minshew. Which, by the way, I don't know if he has finished this, but I will say it again. Twitch chat, help me out here. We need to tweet at Minshew because he said at the beginning of the offseason that he's getting in an RV and he's going to RV from Jacksonville to L.A., Ooh. And if there's anywhere he should stop along the way,
we're pretty out of the way.
I don't care. We got to make sure he gets in studio. So right now, go on Twitter, tweet at Gardner Minshew, tell him that he's got to stop at the MVP studios. He will not regret it. It's going to be a great time. Great time, great podcast. He'll be on one of the shows. I think that would be great. We need your help to make that happen, though, because otherwise I just look like a creep tweeting at Gardner Minshew.
Sure you look like a creep tweeting at Gardner Minshew, but that's cool. Cool.
Nick Foles could be on the trading block. He's been on the Chiefs, Eagles, and Jaguars, who have all worked with Bears coaches. That's why this prediction was made.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm down in theory for this, but it just screams desperation at the same time. Here's my concern. If we take Nick Foles, we better still draft another quarterback. I'm done with Mitch Trubisky at that point, though. He can stay on the roster this season, whatever. I'm sure some team might want to kick the tires on him if we can get a trade for, pennies on the dollar, sure. But, as long as if we sign Nick Foles, it means that we're trying to win this year. That's my thought. That's if we go for that kind of a deal. But we still have to draft a young quarterback. There's no going without that. So, I don't know. Do you think Nick Foles could get the job done in Chicago if we made a deal for him?
I mean, Nick Foles isn't a bad quarterback. I feel like the thing that propels Nick Foles to the front is that
the Super Bowl
2017.
Run.
That was the 2017 Super Bowl run.
17, 18.
And that's the big thing of if he didn't have that, that year made him Nick Foles is just a backup to, all right, maybe Nick Foles can be a starter. And I feel like Nick Foles could be a good quarterback for the Bears. And it's interesting only because of he has worked with everyone on the Bears staff. So there is a familiarity with Laser, with DeFilippo, with Matt Nagy that's not there with Mitch Trubisky. The only thing in my mind, which is, yet again, the Joel Embiid thing. Is that what you're flipping out about?
Return Friday night.
Yeah.
Which means there could be another open on that All-Star team.
Drummond.
That's what Soapy's saying.
Soapy said. The thing that makes it a little hard, though, is contract. Because, first off, what are you going to give up for Nick Foles? What are the Jaguars going to expect? What would the Bears have to give up? Because They don't have a lot of draft capital, and you're probably going to have to give up some draft capital to go ahead and get him.
Yep.
Also, this upcoming year, he's making a total of his cap hit's going to be $22 million.
Okay.
Then it's $26 million. Then it's $27 million. So he's not a cheap option.
No.
So the Bears would probably have to open up cap room as well, and they've got some they've got some guys that they need to re-sign. Like we've mentioned, Trevathan and Kwiatkowski are two of the big ones.
One of the two is going to be here, likely Trevathan, because they're cheaping
Clinton
out.
Dix is probably gone because there's already stories that he wants more money.
He didn't play well,
which the Bears aren't going to give him.
Yeah, we didn't like either how he played in our secondary either. So
Yeah, so I mean,
I think we're fine moving on from Quentin Dix. So.
I don't know if this prediction gets done. That's how I look at it.
It's a big ask.
He's a lot of money.
Yeah, he's a lot of money. I get that, but it's also like, can he make magic happen again?
Mm-hmm.
You know, are we grasping at straws at this point from a distance? I don't know why I keep saying from a distance today.
It's just the segment.
Are we grasping at straws?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like we are. I feel like it's desperation, and maybe we shouldn't feel the pressure, but the Khalil Mack trade has put us on such a trajectory that it feels like if we don't compete for a championship, it was a waste.
Yeah.
And I know I shouldn't feel that way.
No, you should. Because
the defense has played fantastically, and the offense has been nothing but a disappointment. Inconsistent. They've had moments, but as a whole, they've not been able to get the job done while the defense busted their ass for 2 years now, and it just came up short. Last year, 2 years ago, I guess, technically at this point, because the Super Bowl's over, so officially 2 years ago, when we had that phenomenal season and just the double doink happened, it was like, okay, we can come back next year. We don't have to make that many adjustments. I know our coach, we moved on from our defensive coordinator, who I can't remember his fucking name because I'm awful with names.
Vic Fangio,
because he got a head coaching job. And our team took a step back defensively, but not as big as most people would have thought. So I was like, okay, cool. We'll still be fine to compete this year. Mitch Trubisky, year 3, year 2 of this head coach, year 2 of the system. He's going to get it. Like, things are going to click. He's going to open up the playbook. All of a sudden, we see the Matt Nagy offense that we saw in Kansas City. And instead, Matt Nagy had to tune that offensive down to simple, make that shit preseason-like looks, and Mitch Trubisky still struggled. And I'm just at a loss for, like, if he's not able to figure out a fucking offense, we don't have a chance at winning a championship. We don't have a chance at the playoffs. So I look at this team, and that's why I'm excited about Nick Foles, because he's been there, he's done that, he's played on multiple teams, he's picked up multiple systems. He's not got that learning curve like a young kid like Mitch Trubisky, who didn't have the starts in college, who didn't have the starts, in the NFL because he's so young. So like, I feel like he's a great idea on paper, but like you said, the price point just makes it difficult, and I don't know if it's worth it at that point.
Yeah, and I feel like the other part of it too is I go back to what would the Bears have to give up for Nick Foles, and I was thinking about other quarterbacks who have been traded. So one that I think of is Sam Bradford, where right now he's 32 and 4 years ago? 4 years ago he was traded to the Vikings, and that would be when he was, if my math is correct, 28. He was traded. I know that we have a history with you and Sam Bradford on the podcast.
Yeah, I had some
love-hate with Sam Bradford.
I loved his injuries, and I hated him.
Dave just was not a fan of Sam Bradford, but I mean, he's a guy that, and I looked up Sam Bradford. I went to look up Nick Foles to see how old Nick Foles is. Nick Foles is 31. So, I mean, the thing that I look at is you look at Sam Bradford. When he was 28, he was traded to Minnesota. And Minnesota gave up basically a first-round pick, a conditional pick, and a fourth-rounder. And the question that I think needs to be answered first is, can the Bears get this deal done or get a deal done for a quarterback without a first-round pick this year? And would you want to give up your first-round pick next year for a quarterback like Nick Foles, to where if it doesn't work this year, then what
I
do
still
you do
think we
for
have
the
to
next
draft
two?
a quarterback.
No,
this
no,
year.
You're still going to draft a quarterback, but he's still under contract for 2 more years after this one.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work this year, what's the panic level going to be like in Chicago? I think.
Can it get worse than where we're at right now?
Yes.
Really?
I would say if you traded for a guy like Nick Foles,
Yeah.
and then let's say miss the playoffs again,
Yep.
the panic level would be worse. Why are we not better? Nick Foles was supposed to bring us at least to the playoffs. Like if you go to the playoffs and lose, I think the panic level is like,
that'd be
okay,
my expectation.
well, at least we went to the playoffs.
Maybe
but if
we
you
are
don't,
capped out. Yeah.
I think the panic level goes up.
Fair.
The question that I have to bring in though is, in your mind, what's a better option? There's 3 options the Bears could take. All of them.
If you say Jameis Winston's an option, I'm
no.
Okay.
Why?
Good.
I hate Jameis Winston.
We all hate Jameis Winston, but his name was dropped in the comment section on Twitch.
I'm going to use a different name as the example. But free agent quarterback will be one of them. Option 1 is trade for a guy like Nick Foles.
Mm-hmm.
Option 2 is trade for a guy like Cam Newton, Cam Newton coming off of an injury, but he's only got 1 year. Basically, this next year's his contract
to make
year.
a break deal.
If it doesn't work,
we walk away.
You walk away, which might be worse because then it's like, great, we gave
how much
up
value do we have?
We gave up that for him to just walk away, but you won't be tied down to him if you don't want to.
True.
The other option, and like I said, all of these involve drafting a quarterback also. The other option is, okay, keep our picks, maybe get a quarterback in a higher round if we have to.
Second round. Which just fine this year.
And get
a kid called Jalen Hurts.
If he's going to be there, he might be an end of the first rounder.
Don't you put that on him.
Could be.
Don't you put that on him.
Or you could go out and get like a Marcus Mariota and draft a quarterback.
Marcus Mariota has...
I just said like a Marcus Mariota. That's just one of the names that comes to mind.
His fingers at random points. He has lack of feeling.
I said like
in his throwing hands.
Marcus Mariota because he's, I think, going to be the top... free agent one of them because I don't think Teddy
the 30
Bridgewater.
for 30 Jameis Winston,
unless you think Tom Brady's coming to Chicago,
there's the outside chance.
Do you think it happens? No.
The ultra study there.
Well, I mean, just like honestly, do you think it happens? Because I don't.
I don't believe
he's
it
going
happens.
to either the Chargers or the Raiders if he leaves New England.
Yeah, I think he would go out to a West Coast team. Mm-hmm. That would be extremely likely in my mind. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. Is Tannehill done with the Titans, contract-wise?
He is, but they're going to re-sign him. They're going to bring him back.
Is he able to be talked to by other teams and offers be made?
Not yet.
Okay.
There's a re-signing period, but the Titans have said they are going to offer him a contract, and he's probably going to sign that dotted line.
Throw $1 billion at him.
Yeah, there is a slim chance that Ryan Tannehill hits the free agent market. Here's the names you're looking at if you're going free agency.
Yep.
The first one's Drew Brees because we haven't had a decision yet.
Interesting.
Technically, he could leave New Orleans, but I think if he comes back, if he comes back and plays, he's in New Orleans.
But Ryan Pace has that connection with Drew Brees.
Yeah, but I'm
their
saying
time together in New Orleans.
I don't think New Orleans is going to get rid of him.
Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine Drew Brees on another team, but in the NFL, it happens more often than not.
But I don't think
Joe Montana played on another team.
Yeah. But I don't think this is a Brett Favre situation. This isn't, hey, we've got the next kid.
We're talking about Tom Brady playing on another team.
Yeah.
Literally, every great quarterback has not been able to stop playing when they were on top.
But I'm saying...
Other than John Elway.
But I'm saying I think
and even then he had to come back to tinker.
All Drew Brees has to do is say, I'm coming back, and the Saints go, okay, contract?
Right, here's your job.
He's going to be a Saint. Tom Brady, if he leaves New England, would he sign with the Bears? I think no. The next one up then is Phillip Rivers, who we know for sure is going to be a free agent.
Another quarterback who
I would pay for Phillip Rivers, but yet again, I'm in the minority apparently.
No, I'm with you. I would take a Phillip Rivers.
Because
but again,
the comment
I keep
section
saying,
and Sean have
here's a
been
great quarterback at the end of his career going to another team.
Yeah, no,
there's a common theme here.
Yeah,
that's why I don't think I don't think Drew Brees is a guarantee.
You don't think he's a guarantee? I think it's
to go back to the Saints. No,
I think the Saints want him back, and he doesn't want to leave. If he's coming back, he's playing for the Saints.
That no quarterback, it seems, knows when to retire, when the team wants them to retire, versus when they think they still got a year in them.
Yeah, but
every great quarterback seemingly has gone to another team.
And Jake can help me out here. I don't think the Saints are trying to push Drew Brees out the door. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying they don't want him there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's a chance.
I see there's no chance. He's
Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Philip Rivers.
Those are quarterbacks that are
Those
going
are the
to play.
top quarterbacks in the history of the NFL who are all potentially now playing for a second team at
Joe
the
Montana
end of their career.
did play for a second team.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
Yeah.
Philip Rivers and Tom Brady are question marks, but
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're talking about the best talent. Brett Favre, top talent in the NFL. Peyton Manning, top talent in the NFL. Like, it's a history of saying that this is going to happen. So by saying it's not, I don't believe you because there's a chance. You can't say there's no chance.
No, I
can tell you there is a chance.
I agree with Jake. There's a 0% chance because the Saints, like, the only reason I say it's a 0% chance is in every one of those cases, except for maybe Tom Brady, because I don't know why the Patriots would push him out the
Jimmy
door.
Garoppolo's gone.
Like, you look at Brett Favre. The Packers wanted to go to Aaron Rodgers. You look at Joe Montana. They wanted to go to Steve Young. I don't think the Saints are going, man, we're really like chomping at the bit to go to Teddy Bridgewater this year. Bridgewater did great in filling in for Breeze, but I don't think the Saints are at the level the Packers or the Niners are. That's why I'm saying it's a 0% chance in my mind that Breeze is not in a Saints uniform next year.
Okay.
Like, I get your usually quarterbacks, like the Chargers. They said goodbye, and Rivers will be in a new uniform. I just think Breeze, if he comes back, he's going to be a Saint. Okay. But with the Bears, Rivers could be an option, but yet again, how much are you going to have to pay him? How much is he going to want compared to how much your team's going to offer?
Yeah, I mean, who else is going to be in the market for him, though?
If the Raiders don't get Tom Brady, do they just say Derek Carr's our guy, or do they go after Rivers?
If they go after Rivers, what happens to Derek Carr?
Well,
that'd be an upgrade for us.
Yeah, if they get that's another thing. If they get Tom Brady, which that's a rumor that the Raiders are like one of the top teams to get Tom Brady if he leaves. If they get Tom Brady, Derek Carr would definitely be an upgrade for the Bears, and he got a history with dealing with the Raiders already. That's how you got Khalil Mack. But what would John Gruden and Mike Mayock want for Derek Carr? You'd have to give up, more first-round picks to the Raiders?
I mean, if they bring in Tom Brady, I think the asking price for Derek Carr goes down. I don't think that's a super high asking price.
You don't think they would want at least next year's first-round pick?
I don't know what it would be. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what the price would be. Derek Carr is a good quarterback, but clearly he's not their quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
So
I would take Derek Carr on the Vikings in a heartbeat.
I would take. Don't get me wrong. I would. Yeah. He's a 1,000,000,000% upgrade over Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, it's not the argument I'm making.
29-year-old and that's the reason why. I'll even say this: I would take Derek Carr over Nick Foles, who we talked about earlier.
100%, yeah.
Only because they both have 3 years left: 2020, 2021, and 2022. The main reason is Derek Carr's 2 years younger.
So
he's 29 to 31.
He's only 2 years younger than Nick Foles.
29, yeah.
I feel like that means he's old. Like Nick Foles just looks older than he is.
He's going to be 29 this year.
And Nick Foles is going to be 31 this year.
He is 31 right now.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be 32 in January. Wow, he just turned 31 this January.
Okay. Point being, it feels like Nick Foles is a lot older or Derek Carr was a lot younger. I don't know, but my brain's kind of tricked me at that point.
Usually it looks like Derek Carr looks younger. Plus he rubs that baby oil on him. Remember from Hard Knocks?
Absolutely true.
You got baby oil on there?
So am I being told correctly that the Bears' best option should be convincing Tom Brady to go play for the Raiders this offseason?
So that you guys can trade for Derek Carr.
God, that doesn't feel right.
Outside of those guys, though, after Phillip Rivers,
sure,
Bridgewater, I think, re-signs with New Orleans. Then it's Jameis Winston, who I would not get. Turnover machine.
But also touchdown machine.
Also touchdown machine, but turnover machine.
Yep. They're equal parts. That's 30 for 30,
then it's
baby.
Marcus Mariota. Then Marcus Mariota, that's where the drop happens.
I think the drop already happened.
Chase Daniel.
Nope.
Case Keenum, which I know Sean's all over.
Yeah.
Sean wants Case Keenum. Chad Henne, Drew Stanton, Colt McCoy, Nate Sudfeld, A.J. McCarron, Josh McNown, Trevor Siemian, Mike Glennon, Ginger Giraffe.
Yep.
And yeah, it just
Jake's
goes
our New Orleans insider saying Bridgewater is not coming back.
You don't think so? You don't think they? I think they would re-sign him.
But does he want to sit behind Drew Brees for yet another year and have to do this again next year?
If he's on don't have the money. If he's on the table, if I'm the Bears, I would sign Teddy Bridgewater.
Two gloves.
Because Teddy Two Gloves could be a guy that, I mean, he's not somebody that would definitely take Mitch's job, but he could provide fucking competition in the offseason.
I think he's a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky is.
No, he is. But I don't think that the Bears would. I think the Bears, I'm going to say this. The Bears would be too scared to have a different quarterback win, and for my audio listeners, air quotes, win the job over Mitch. I think Mitch is going to be gifted a job because Mitch is
possible
a little soft.
A little soft.
And yeah, SAWFT. And I think that no matter who comes in, whatever veteran they sign is not going to win that job. That they're going to give the job to Mitch because the ultimate goal is beefing Mitch up. And what's going to kill Mitch's confidence, what's going to kill Mitch's confidence is if Teddy Two Gloves comes in and then wins the job from him. Because then if you got to go back, I'm not saying you would because Teddy did good this last year.
Yeah, he held the reins on a team.
Let's say Teddy gets injured. Knock on wood, because I know the last injury he had was horrific.
Yeah, seriously.
But let's say he gets injured that's not that horrific and he's just out a couple games. How do you go back to a Mitch then? Mitch, his confidence might be shaken so much.
Can he be worse than he is already?
I think he can.
Then no one cares because he's still not good enough to win games when he is confident.
Which I know people would say that. Like, well,
absolutely. I'm a Chicago fucking bonehead.
If that's going to shake him up, then I don't want him as my quarterback, that kind of thing.
If he's already shook up, he's bad. If he's calm, he's bad. It doesn't matter. He's bad. He can't read routes. He can't read defenses. And he has no confidence in his arm.
Yeah.
He can't throw the ball quickly. He gets swallowed up in the pocket.
And he gets no support from
his offensive line is made of fucking Swiss cheese. The run game's there. We just refuse to use it because our offensive fucking system is built off KC's where they forgot how to use the run game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
not that they're not good, that you just don't use the run game.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would 1,000,000,000% take Teddy Bridgewater. I would take Derek Carr. I would take Cam Newton. I would take Phil.
If you had to give a top three of guys, like number one's your first choice, 2, and then 3, who would be your top 3? Because you're throwing out a lot of names, and I love the names.
Like all of them. That's my problem.
But is there one guy you want more than the other? Because like I would take, if I was a Bears fan, I would take Phillip Rivers.
Sure.
Teddy Bridgewater, Cam Newton. That's what I would do. Oh, I would pick Cam over Foles just because I don't know if I would want to be locked down.
My brain's telling me no, but my heart's telling me Cam Newton's number 1.
Because then you get Greg Olsen.
Could get Greg Olsen back. We talked about that last week.
Which, after the podcast, I want to throw out. After we recorded that podcast, there was the tweet that had Cam Newton hugging Russ, and they were like, ooh, what's Cam Newton telling Russ? And Greg Olsen retweeted it and said that Greg Olsen could still play. And like this upcoming week that just happened, it was like the Seahawks are going to look into Greg Olsen.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. My heart says Cam Newton's 1, Teddy's 2, and Phillip Rivers is 3. Derek Carr's not on the board officially, but he would be my 3. I know Cam's health is a concern, Jake, but I just don't care. And I think he's got the most upside of any quarterback on the table.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at this now. With Teddy Bridgewater, though, how much is he gonna be asking for? Because think about it, he came off an injury this year. In the short time that he played, he did play very well.
He did.
Jake, you'll have to remind me. I don't think you lost any games.
No.
With him in there, Teddy Bridgewater helped break the kiss of death, and he was only making
5-0.
7.5 was his cap hit.
Yeah.
So how much more money is Bridgewater going to ask for what, 5 games last year? I mean, yeah, he did go 5-0, but it's not like he's going to, in my mind, it's not like he's going to be a $20 million quarterback.
He's a 15 to 20 mil. I agree with that.
Okay.
That's he's asking for 25, Teeman. Yikes.
I wouldn't give him 25.
15 to 20, I think. The problem is Nick Foles won a Super Bowl and got his mid-20s deal.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater won 5 regular season games.
Yeah.
I think 15 to 20 is probably about right, but he's younger. So Yeah, I maybe lock him in for 18 to 22 range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard because like he was on Minnesota, got injured, then was on the Jets, and then has been on.
We'd have to make some things happen to get him, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't care. The Bears. I think that's the option. I don't think they trade for anyone.
He should ask for 25.
I think they signed. I think they signed.
The only man who's asking for 25 this offseason is probably James Winston. He's just gone. God. No one understands what the fuck's going on with that man.
God, he's an idiot.
He is not a bright man. Idiot. He is not a bright man. And I don't like to speak poorly of people, but he should not be a quarterback.
Unless it's Sam Bradford.
I've gotten past that.
I know. I just like I like throwing it your way, throwing some jabs at you.
Yep.
We all grow as humans.
So yeah, the Bears quarterback situation is tough, but there are options out there.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of them good? No, but that's why they're options, because nobody else wants them.
I think Phillip Rivers would be a good option. I think he'd be better than Mitch.
Past his prime, Phillip Rivers.
Is that from Twitch chat or is that from
No, that's me.
Okay.
He's better than Mitch, don't get me wrong. But he is not... he's as likely to give away the game as he is to win the game. Like his game right now reminds me more of Jameis Winston, but he knows how to work an offense.
He's also...
play call and see defenses, make reads. Like he does all the right things. Yeah. He'll just give you like that last second. Maybe it's a Brett Favre throw. That's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
I feel like
shouldn't have done that.
I feel like the only reason he's in those situations though is because his team has forced him in. Like he is probably, and I know one season for sure.
Yeah,
I would have to go ahead and thanks Jake again for sharing.
Trubisky smells like.
But basically, what I'm going to say to end the thought, thanks, Jake, for gifting some more emotes, one to us. The thing that I just lost my train of thought with Phillip Rivers. I know one season for sure, and I feel like it's most games with him. He's not the one that loses the Chargers the games. It's the defense makes a boneheaded play. The kicker misses a field goal. Like something that Phillip Rivers can't control. Happens, and then they lose the game, or like, oh, now they're down by 14 to where Phillip Rivers goes out there and goes, well, now I have to go ahead and do this Brett Favre type throw, and then it gets picked off. So, like,
maybe.
I feel like Phillip Rivers has always been that quarterback where it's like, yeah, they lost, but it's not Phillip Rivers' fault. Something else happens, and then we just blame Phillip because we blame the quarterback.
He made the mistake that's the most visible. You're right. The little things, added up perhaps to the situation that he was put into.
Like the SB Nation did the one season where the Chargers had 5 games, I think, that were cost by their special teams. Phillip Rivers don't play special teams, so you can't blame Phillip Rivers for those.
That is a lot of games. But then, would he have a good feeling about our kicking game, knowing what he knows?
I don't know. Apparently, I watched a video on Facebook today of every team and their best play from this season. You know what the Bears was? Week 2, an Eddie Pinheiro kick.
That was when we knew that we found our kicker.
You know what play is better than that?
A lot of them.
The play that set that up. The one where Mitch was like running up and he threw the ball. I would say that was better than the game-winning kick against the Broncos.
You know what? We didn't know if we had a kicker yet. And that's why that play was more impactful on our season.
But when people saw that play from Mitch and were like, that's the Mitch we want to see. Like that.
Right. But because we're choosing this at the end of the year, we're gonna pick the kicker.
Okay.
We're gonna pick the kicker over Mitch right now. That's where we're at. Trubisky's truly a wiener. I got you, Jake. That was a great one. You're so crafty.
And then fucking Sam posted an article about from heavy.com about Mitch and his girlfriend. 5 fast facts you need to know, Dave.
I don't, because I don't want to know anything more about Mitch. I don't want to humanize him anymore. Like, we're from Chicago. We're going to be tough on our quarterbacks. It's what we do, and I've been trying to replace him for last year.
I'm just going to say this one is stupid because I feel like if you're dating someone, you should call your boyfriend or girlfriend this. Mitch's girlfriend calls the Bears quarterback her best friend. Well, no shit.
I don't know.
If I was dating a girl, I'd want to call her my best friend.
But that spot's already taken. Like, if you said out loud, you'd be lying, Like, sure, you can tell her to her face that she's your best friend. But, like, we all know when it comes down to it, you're like, who's your best friend? You got to hide a body. Who you calling?
That's how you know a best friend. Would this person help you hide a body if you had to?
Oh, goddamn. Well, I think that does it for the Bears.
Hiding bodies.
Hiding bodies.
What body would you hide? We'll find out later.
Which Bears quarterback would you hide?
Cade McDowell? No,
yeah. If I never had to.
Cade McDowell.
Yeah, I don't. He was a bum.
Bears quarterback? I don't know.
Yeah, which body would you hide from the lineup of Bears quarterbacks going all the way back?
Yeah, I have no idea.
We just need a franchise quarterback, and we wanted to be so in love with Mitch because he was the number 2 pick in the draft. Like that's where you get success.
Yeah,
usually.
number 2 compared to number 3.
Worth every.
We need the email that Jake had, but not Bryce Harper, because I think that's Bryce Harper. We need it with Mitch. Oh, Jay Cutler. That's a good one, Demon King.
See, I love Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is our best quarterback in history.
Do you want to hear a funny story about Jay Cutler?
I watched 10 minutes of Jay Cutler on Kristen Cavalier's show.
Oh, okay.
It was like the super clips of him.
Yes. He's great on that show.
I fucking love him.
He's great.
And you can totally see it on his face. I think it was just like, I would not be putting up with this shit if you weren't as good looking as you were.
Yeah.
And like he's in there, he's all excited, talking about buying baby. What were they? Miniature donkeys. He was getting excited about buying miniature donkeys. I was like, this is the man that I want to be my quarterback.
I think the best clip from that show was they're talking, and she goes, "Well, what are you gonna do now that you're retired?" And he goes, "Nothing." She goes, "Well, you got to do something." He goes, "Nope, I'm retired." That's the point of being retired. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But he was on Pardon My Take, Barstool.
Yeah.
And he told a story that apparently when he was recruited, he didn't even know where Vanderbilt was.
Nice.
Couldn't even put it on a map. I guess what happened was he wasn't getting recruited by men. Like he was getting recruited. He wanted to go to Notre Dame, Indiana kid.
Of course.
But they didn't look at him.
Yeah.
Some other place wanted him. I think it was like Wake Forest or something. But they wanted him to play safety, and he's like, fuck that. I don't want to play safety. Because I think he was a tight end in high school. Because Vandy called him.
Yeah.
And he got called down to the AD's office. They're like, hey, Vandy wants to talk to you. And first off, the guy didn't know his name. They're like, wait, who are we talking to again? He said it. They're like, well, we're interested in you. We'll call you back later. About lunch, they call back, and they're like, hey, so we want to offer you a scholarship, but we got to know by the end of the day. Because I guess it was a situation where they had offered a kid from California. They had offered 2 other kids, but they weren't sure if they were going to take it. So it's basically, hey, we're offering it to you 3. First one to take it gets it.
Nice.
Kind of a situation. And Jay, just being Jay's like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like, he tells the AD, he's like, hey, can I go home? Like, I got to talk to my dad about this. So let him go home early. He's like, I put up the computer. He goes, this is dial up. So you got the kind of sounds going on. And he goes, I typed in Vanderbilt, didn't even know where it was on a map, couldn't fucking find it. And he goes, when I told my dad, hey, yeah, this school wants me to come, but I don't know if I want to go. You know what his dad said? Call him, you're going. And the Barstool guys are like, yep, that's your dad. Yep. I don't have to pay for college. Fucking call them up.
You better call him back. Absolutely.
See, and that's how he went to Vanderbilt.
This is how sad it is as a Bears fan. I'm just reminiscing about Jay Cutler in the good old days.
And then that brought him on.
I would kill for Jay Cutler on this team.
They're like, you should probably thank Vanderbilt, because without Vanderbilt, you wouldn't be an NFL quarterback.
True.
Because he wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Jake, the good old days.
It was the good old days.
The good old days of Michael Jordan with the Bulls, Jake Cutler with the Bears.
Yeah.
You know who I always think of with the Bears? Like back being like good old days? Musi Muhammad.
Moose.
Those were some, like, it wasn't like championship days.
No.
But like Musi was good with the Bears. I know he was coming off of like better days with the Panthers.
Yeah.
But he was still good with the Bears. Marty Booker.
Saints won the Super Bowl 10 years ago today.
Yeah.
Cool fact, Jake.
Yeah.
That was a city win.
Was that the Colts? Where they beat the Colts?
I don't know. That was a win for the whole city though. That was the post Katrina. Like they had everything riding on that.
Yeah.
Huge emotional win. That was a great game. But yeah, I think that wraps up my thoughts on the Bears. Is we're just
reminiscing on Jay Cutler.
We're just talking about any quarterback under the sun. Could Jay Cutler come back and quarterback the Bears?
No way.
I'm just being an asshole.
Don't speak that into existence.
I'm not.
Dave.
He doesn't want to play quarterback. He didn't want to play it when he was here. He doesn't want to play it now.
Jay didn't even want to come back and play for the Dolphins when he came back and played for the Dolphins.
And he wasn't bad. He wasn't that bad. Was the problem?
No, but you could tell it was just I'm here just because Adam Gase called me.
Yeah. No, he's having a great time. So yeah, I'm still all in on we got to draft a quarterback in this year's draft. Whether we do something in trade or free agency doesn't matter. You still have to draft a kid this year. I don't wait until next year. I don't hope that we're gonna get.
How mad are you gonna be if the Bears don't draft anybody?
I'm gonna flip a fucking table.
Good.
I'm going to flip a fucking table over.
Would you superhuman? Would you jump and flying elbow through a table?
No, because I don't want to shatter my fucking elbow. Like
the Bailey or the Kyrie Sane fucking flying elbow.
Oh, I couldn't get the height. He got drunk and what?
Talking about some pitching prospect from Vandy.
Jesus, Sam.
You bring up pitching prospect from Vandy, I just think it was not Dylan Cease. 2 years. Didn't Dylan Cease go to fucking Vandy?
I don't know, man.
The White Sox have some not Dylan Windler. I'm like, that's not him. I think it's Dylan Cease. Milton High School, not where he went to high school, not where he went to college. I thought he went to college in Vanderbilt. Dylan Cease. That's what I was thinking about. That's like when Jake said top pitching prospect. I'm like, oh, Dylan Cease. That's who you got to be talking about. So that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yikes. Well, on that dysfunctional fucking conversation, that'll wrap it up for Superfans Day. We really miss Sean. I wish he could be here, but he's at work doing important work things.
He'll be back tomorrow.
We'll catch him tomorrow as we live stream this on Twitch, as we do every week. Superfans and the Fast Break will be live on Twitch. All of our shows are live on Twitch. Superfans and Fast Break, though, are Friday, Saturday. Some sort of combo. Just make sure you catch up on Twitter. Ricky will be tweeting it out when it happens, but just know those 2 days are reserved for those two shows. Great way to start the weekend, and then you end the weekend with Ricky and Johnny talking the nerdy news over on Rick and Johnny on Sunday. Anything else I can plug or pitch right now? Because I just feel like this is ultimate wrap up.
Yeah. First off, I will
thanks patrons.
Thank the patrons.
You guys are dope. Thanks everybody in chat who's been hanging around this whole time.
Also,
you're fucking fantastic. Keep us going.
The White Sox have 2 pitchers from Vanderbilt.
No kidding.
Carson Fulmer, too. I forgot about Carson Fulmer.
Great call.
2016 has been with the White Sox. And then Dylan Cease has also been with the White Sox since 2019.
Vandy, pumping out the pitchers.
Dude, they were insane. They beat Illinois. I think the year they had Carson Fulmer, they beat Illinois in like the Super Regional or something like that. The one where it turns because it's a 4-team bracket, like the little regional, and then you play like a 3-game series against one team. We lost in that one against Vanderbilt, so I remember hating them for about 2 weeks.
That's tough. That's tough love right there. Thanks everybody. So there's your Sox news for the day. Any Cubs notes on the day?
No,
no shout outs, no nothing.
I mean, we're still
Super Fans episode 24. Who's our 24 shout out?
Oh shit!
We need to do our shout out, Ricky.
Famous
number 24 is in Chicago.
Numbers 24.
Roll them out in honor of Sean, in honor of that other podcast that totally does this.
The White Sox podcast you talked about.
Yes.
Let's see. What do you want to go? Bulls or Bears?
Anything. Just give me something to kill this dead air, Ricky.
Oh, Jordan Howard.
Jordan Howard. I heard a rumor that we should bring him back.
Yes, there was big
yikes.
There was an article about should the Bears re-sign him, and I was like, why? You've got fucking David Montgomery.
Sam, I don't want to give that.
Yeah, this is the Jordan Howard podcast.
He does yell at us usually, but we still love Sean. Demon King, St. Lowry. I don't want to give him respect. I'm so unhappy with him right now. I know he's hurt. Or maybe hurt, or was hurt, and then is hurt again.
We'll say the Jordan
Howard episode. Great episode, man. That dude was a fucking workhorse. I love that, man. He beasted. Deserved better, though. He deserved better.
Yeah, Lowry Marketing is 24.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
We've watched like 40 fucking games of him this year alone.
Other 24s in Bulls history. Tyus Jones.
Bill Cartwright.
Bryce Drew. Bill Cartwright.
Scalabrine. Nice.
Scalabrine. Let's see. Perry Young, Kyle Macy, Reggie Thice, Jack Marin, Gar Hurd, and Matt Guokas. Guokas.
Don't know. But
played in the 70s.
Yep. All of those guys. Thank you guys so much. Fucking end this show. We'll catch you next week.